Tired of all the Halligalli Christmas cheer? Think the holidays are all about sugar plums and presents? Well, pull up a chair and listen closely, because tonight, we're not talking about Santa Claus. We're talking about his shadow, the sinister figure that lurks in the cold winter nights, waiting for the naughty children. This is the story of Krampus. Most of us grew up with the story of St. Nicholas, the jolly old man who rewards good kids with toys and treats. But in the snowy alpine regions of Europe, an older, much darker legend has been whispered for centuries. Before Santa checks his list, another being comes to town. He's not here to bring gifts. He's here to deliver punishment. His name is Krampus, and he's the dark counterpart to St. Nicholas. Imagine this. It's December 5th, the night before the feast of St. Nicholas. This isn't a silent night. It's Krampusnacht, or Krampus night. The air grows cold, and a strange, unsettling sound echoes through the streets. It's not the gentle jingle of sleigh bells. It's the heavy, rusty clanking of chains. Krampus is a terrifying sight to behold. He's a half-goat, half-demon creature, towering over men. Long, curved horns sprout from his head, like a twisted crown. His face is monstrous, with sharp fangs and a long, pointed tongue that lolls from his mouth. His eyes glow with a malevolent fire, and his body is covered in thick, dark fur. Instead of boots, he has cloven hooves that leave deep, unsettling tracks in the snow. While Santa carries a sack full of presents, Krampus carries a bundle of birch branches, not for decoration, but to whip children who have misbehaved throughout the year. He also carries a large sack or a woven basket on his back, but it's not for carrying toys. It's for carrying away the truly wicked children. Legend says he stuffs them into his sack and drags them away from their homes, down to his fiery lair in the underworld for a year of torment. Or worse, some stories say they're never seen again. Think about it. While good children are dreaming of what Santa will bring them, the naughty ones are listening in terror for the sound of clanking chains and heavy hooves crunching on the snow outside their window. Krampus doesn't ask if you've been naughty or nice. He already knows. And he's coming for you. So where did this horrifying creature come from? His origins are ancient, predating Christianity. He's believed to be the son of Hel, the Norse goddess of the underworld. The name Krampus comes from the German word Krampan, which means clap. It's a fitting name for a being that snatches children from their beds. When Christianity spread across Europe, the church tried to stamp out these pagan traditions, but the legend of Krampus was too powerful to be erased. Instead, he was absorbed into Christmas folklore, becoming the dark companion to the benevolent Saint Nicholas. The two became a pair, a perfect balance of reward and punishment, light and dark. On the night of December 5th, Saint Nicholas and Krampus would visit homes together. Nicholas would call the children forward and ask their parents if they had been good. The good children would receive apples, nuts, and candy. But if a child had been naughty, Nicholas would step aside, and Krampus would step forward, rattling his chains and brandishing his birch switches. The fear of Krampus was a powerful tool for parents to keep their children in line all year long. In fact, some chilling tales suggest that desperate parents would even make contracts with Krampus. If a child was particularly disobedient and nothing else worked, a parent might leave out a special offering on Krampusnacht, a silent plea for the demon to visit their home and teach their child a lesson they would never forget. Imagine the terror of a child, not just being told Krampus will get them, but knowing their own parents invited him. This tradition is still very much alive today, especially in Austria, Germany, Bavaria, and other parts of Central Europe. The night of December 5th isn't just a spooky story, it's a full-blown celebration. They have something called the Krampuslauf, or the Krampus Run. It's like a parade, but instead of cheerful floats, the streets are filled with hundreds of people dressed in terrifyingly realistic Krampus costumes. These aren't your cheap Halloween store outfits. We're talking elaborate, hand-carved wooden masks with real horns, shaggy animal pelts, and heavy, clanking chains and cowbells. The participants run through the streets, growling and roaring, playfully chasing spectators and swatting at their legs with birch branches. It's a chaotic, noisy, and genuinely scary spectacle meant to drive out winter's evil spirits. But it's also a stark reminder of the folklore's dark roots. It's a way of looking fear right in the face. Now, let's explore a story that feels a little too real. In a small, isolated village in the Austrian Alps, there was a legend about a family that took the Krampus tradition too far. The Schmidts had two sons, Lucas and Matthias. Lucas was well behaved, but his younger brother Matthias was a troublemaker. He lied, he stole from the village market, and he was cruel to animals. His parents tried everything, but nothing could curb his destructive behavior. As Krampusnacht approached, Mr. Schmidt, in his frustration, muttered a dark wish. I wish Krampus would come and take that boy. Maybe a good scare is what he needs. That night, a fierce blizzard buried the village in snow. The family huddled around the fire, but there was a palpable tension in the air. Suddenly, they heard it, a faint clanking of chains outside, growing louder and louder. Then, a heavy, rhythmic stomping on their porch. A thunderous knock echoed through the small house. Mr. Schmidt, pale with fear, refused to open the door, but the knocking grew more violent, shaking the entire frame. The wooden door splintered and burst open, revealing a horrifying figure silhouetted against the swirling snow. It was taller than any man, with massive horns and glowing red eyes. It was The creature stepped inside, its hooves clacking on the floorboards. It ignored the terrified parents and the crying Lou. Its fiery gaze was fixed on Matthias, who was frozen in pure terror. Krampus dragged the boy from his hiding spot, stuffed him into the basket on his back, and turned to leave. Mrs. Schmidt screamed and begged, but the demon simply snarled and vanished back into the blizzard. The village searched for weeks, but Matthias was never found. Every year on Krampusnacht, the Schmidts would light a candle in the window, hoping for a miracle that never came. The villagers say that if you listen closely on a snowy December night, you can still hear the faint cries of a boy carried on the wind. A permanent and chilling reminder of what happens when you're on Krampus's naughty list. While this may be just a story, it captures the essence of what Krampus represents. The idea that actions have consequences, and that the festive season has a side that is far from joyful. In modern times, Krampus has experienced a massive resurgence in popular culture. He's no longer just a figure from Alpine folklore. He's a global horror icon. He's appeared in movies, TV shows, comic books, and video games. This modern revival has transformed him. For some, he's a fun, anti-Christmas mascot, a symbol of rebellion against the commercialism of the holidays. For others, he remains a truly terrifying figure, a bogeyman that reminds us that not all traditions are sweet and sentimental. He serves as a powerful warning that even during the most wonderful time of the year, darkness can be found lurking just beneath the surface. So, this Christmas, when you're hanging your stockings and decorating the tree, take a moment. Listen carefully. If you hear the faint sound of chains rattling in the distance, or the crunch of cloven hooves in the snow, you better hope you've been good this year, because it might not be Santa Claus coming to town. It might be Krampus, and he's not checking his list twice. He's coming to deliver a very different kind of Christmas spirits. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this dive into the dark side of folklore, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more tailies from the shadows. Stay safe and have a wonderfully wicked holiday season.